Welcome to another of our GST titled Philosophy and Logic. This material is from National Open University of Nigeria. My name is Dan Asukwo, your instructor. Are you writing any of the GSTs soon, or you want to improve your knowledge on philosophy and logic? If so, let us know on the comment section so that we can help you out. If you are a NOUN student or from any other universities, this will be very useful for you. Please do well to share it with others as well as on your study groups. If this is your first time of coming across our videos, why not do well to subscribe, like, comment, and share for others too to benefit. Unit 6, Sources of Knowledge and Criteria for Knowing. 1.0. Introduction. This study unit introduces you to the different sources and criteria for knowing. It is an opportunity for you to differentiate between common sense and philosophical understanding of knowledge, belief, and opinion. The different sources of knowledge will be emphasized. 2.0 Intended Learning Outcomes. By the end of this unit, you will be able to differentiate between knowledge, opinion, and belief. Discuss the common sense and philosophical understanding of knowledge, opinion, and belief. Identify the different sources of knowledge. Discuss the criteria for knowledge. 3.0 Main Content. 3.1 Difference between knowledge, opinion, and belief. Often the terms knowledge, opinion, and belief are used interchangeably, and when considered at the surface level, it ordinarily looks as if there is no difference among them. In the daily life, it is easy for someone to say he knows when he should say he believes. On the other hand, he believes when he should say he knows. It is important to know that, like philosophy, the question of knowledge is not an easy one. It is not easy to align our thoughts with reality. Our mind is always puzzled when it comes to adjusting our beliefs to the knowledge of things in the world, so that our beliefs become grounded in evidence. Therefore, the relationship and the difference between knowledge, opinion, and belief depend on the person's position. 3. 1.1 Common sense understanding of knowledge, opinion, and belief. As stated earlier, often knowledge, opinion, and belief are used interchangeably. This confusion mostly appears in common sense usage. To a layman, knowledge implies many things. For instance, knowledge can even be synonymous with acquaintance. When a layman asks a question such as, "Do you know the Vice Chancellor of the National Open University of Nigeria?" or "For your university?" in his mind, this question is the same as, "Are you acquainted with the Vice Chancellor?" However, the truth is that you might know the Vice Chancellor in the sense of being acquainted with him without knowing much about him. On the other hand, it is also possible to know a great deal about some other person which you have never met. For instance, as a student of philosophy, you know a great deal about Plato, but I am sure that you never met him. Also, in daily life, some people say they know while they mean believe or think. For instance, when a layman says that a medicine is good, what he has in mind is think, because he might have some authoritative person saying it that medicine is good. Most of the time we hear people saying that they know that black men are cursed, nothing good can come out of them. They know that things will never work well for them. In the above statements, there is an obvious confusion between knowledge, opinion, and belief, and this is what happens in the daily life of a layman. 3. 1.2 Philosophical understanding of knowledge, opinion, and belief. The philosophical understanding of knowledge is very different from that of the layman. For a layman, knowledge, opinion, and belief are interwoven, but it is not possible in philosophy. For a philosopher, you say no when you possess information that is beyond doubt, and the information is also true. Philosophical knowledge follows the logic of proposition. That is, I know that, for example, I know that Nigeria is the most populated country in Africa. I know that Cameroon and Nigeria are neighbors. According to John Hospers, if we take the letter X to stand for any proposition, some requirements must be met in order for us to assert truly that we know X. X must be true. We must have evidence for X, that is, reason to believe S. Not only must X be true, we must believe that X is true. There must be no counter-evidence. Hospers adds that the moment you have some reasons to believe that a proposition is not true, this immediately negates a person's claim to know it. You cannot know S if X is not true. If I say I know S but X is not true, My statement is self-contradicting, for part of what is involved in knowing us is that us is true. 1956, 144. According to him, there may be numerous statements that you believe but do not know to be true, but there can be none, which you know to be true but don't believe. For believing is a defining characteristic of knowing. But believing is not a defining characteristic of X being true. X can be true even though neither he nor I nor anyone believes it. After all, the earth was round even before anyone believed that it was. 1956, 145. What matters here is that knowledge implies being sure, being certain. Also, believing is a precondition for knowledge. Because when you know something, you have a right to a certain confidence in your belief as a true and reliable guide to action. Thus, you cannot say you know something which you are not sure of, but it is possible to believe something you are not sure of. You can believe in the existence of God, yet you are not sure of his existence. There is no problem in a statement such as, I think that God exists, but I am not sure. But you cannot say, for instance, that I know he will come, but I am not sure. Knowledge is more qualitative than opinion and belief. An opinion or belief cannot be true unless it is grounded or supported with evidence. Evidence is the unique characteristic of knowledge. That is why customs and some hereditary matters are always at odds with knowledge. You should know that it is not because some customs, beliefs, or hereditary affairs are unquestionable that they are synonymous with knowledge. Some unquestionable beliefs are not well-founded or grounded in evidence. Therefore, they do not constitute knowledge. Always remember that the knower must not only be able to adduce enough evidence, but must also know that he knows his beliefs. For to know is to know that you know. It must be clear to you now that knowledge is quite different from opinion or belief. We have knowledge only when we can provide reasons and evidence for our claims. On the contrary, belief or opinion is based on inner, personal certainty and conviction. Knowledge is objective, that is, it must be communicable and verifiable. 3.2. Sources of knowledge. One of the perennial questions in the history of epistemology, that is, theory of knowledge, has always been, how does knowledge come about? How do we know propositions to be true? Or by what means do we come by our knowledge of the real world? Answers to these questions have been given through the following means. A. Reason. B. Sense experience. C. Authority. D. Intuition. E. Revelation, faith, and F. Mystical experience. 2.1. Reason. Rationalism is a school of thought in epistemology which holds that human beings can acquire knowledge of reality using our minds alone, by thinking or pure reason. To any rationalist, reason is a necessary ingredient for all our knowledge claims. This is one of the reasons why Aristotle defines man as a rational animal. Thus, the ability to think is what is called reason. Any serious rationalist agrees that we cannot acquire knowledge through sense experience without the powers of reason. For them, it is true that our perceptual experience provides the raw material for judgments, but without reason, we cannot make judgments at all. For instance, to reason that the object in front of you is a blackboard, you must first of all recognize it as a blackboard based on certain perceptual characteristics such as color, smell, taste, size, shape, as they recur in your experience. Then, by way of abstraction, you can recognize a blackboard when there is a combination of these characteristics. To the rationalist, therefore, reason is the prima matrix of human knowledge, and with it alone the certainty of human knowledge is guaranteed. Ayer, 1956-54. Prominent members of this school of thought are Leibniz, Spinoza, and René Descartes. 2.2. Sense experience. Sense experience is another source of knowledge. The empiricists are the proponents of sense experience theory. To any empiricist, as far as knowledge is concerned, only sense experience matters. In other words, empiricism is the philosophical theory which denies reason, while insisting that experience is always the necessary ingredient in our knowledge claims of the natural world. This school of thought or group have Bishop George Berkeley, who asserted esse est percipii, meaning to be is to be perceived. His position simply implies that what that is known, true and real, is that which satisfies the sense experience condition. Other prominent members are John Locke and David Hume. 2.3. Authority. Authority is also considered as one of the sources of knowledge. Authority as source of knowledge occurs when we make certain claims to knowledge based on the authority of someone who is a specialist in the particular field of knowledge. Magister dixit, that is, the master said. For instance, I know HIV is real because Prof. Isaac Adewole, the Minister of Health in Nigeria, said so. Here, Prof. Isaac Adewole becomes an authority on the subject. But you should always remember that even as a source of knowledge, authority is a relative term. A man may be an authority in a certain field of knowledge like the minister, however. This does not confer certainty on the claim being made, even if he claims some knowledge of it. Aside, it is fallacious to reason this way. 2.4 Intuition. Another source of knowledge is intuition. Baum defines intuition as the immediacy of apprehension, 1995-5. According to him, intuition is the name we give to the way awareness apprehends when awareness apprehends appearance directly. No intuiting exists apart from awareness. No awareness exists without intuiting. 1995-5. That is why you sometimes hear people say, "I have a sense of intuition." I know by intuition that President Muhammadu Buhari will contest in 2019. 2.5 Revelation and faith. These are also considered as sources of knowledge. It is common to hear people saying, "It was revealed to me in a dream," or "It was revealed to me by God and I have faith in it." My faith guides me in this matter, and I know that it is certainly true. 4.0 Conclusion. This study unit dealt with different sources of knowledge and their criteria for knowing. It also emphasized the common sense and philosophical understanding of knowledge, belief, and opinion. 5.0 Summary. To get the best of this unit, you may need to repay it again. Also drop a comment on the comment section stating the important lesson learnt. Discussion forum. 1. In your context, state and explain 3 main relationships between philosophy and academic discipline. 2. Philosophy is often regarded as an abstract course. In not more than 250 words, justify this statement. 3. Using your context, state 2 philosophical thoughts and explain why they are philosophical. 4. Post your answers on the discussion forum. 5. Read the posts of 2 other persons and write you comment on each from philosophical view.